Welcome. Today I want to introduce you to a new type of aquaponics system. It's been several months since I started to talk about a new project that I had, a new aquaponics system project. I worked on it for a while, and today I'm going to introduce you to a new aquaponics system, a new type of aquaponics system. I call it a holistic aquaponics because it integrates several functions all together. So behind me, you can see the new aquaponics system that I'm going to work on from now on. I still have the other setups, and basically this video is going to be a presentation of this type of aquaponics system and about the new website that I have, Aquaponics Revolution. Before, I was very focused on a website called Melbourne Aquaponics because I was helping people from the Melbourne, Australia area to grow food with aquaponics, and I was supplying aquaponics system. Now I will go one step further. I'm going to help you wherever you live in the world to build your aquaponics system and to manage it in the best way possible. And also I go to one step further as well into the type of aquaponics system I provide. I was working very much on the aesthetic of the aquaponics system on top of working on something that is very efficient. You know that I'm very fish oriented. And what I wanted is to go further into what we can get from the aquaponics system. So a setup that is going to be very useful, but where you can grow more fish and you can see the fish actually. And that's how I came with this type of design that I have behind me. An aquaponics system that is actually a pond. You have an open pond. It has different functions. So obviously when we talk about aquaponics, we are working with an ecosystem, an aquatic ecosystem for the fish. And then we got some grow beds at the back. You can hardly see them here from this video, but I'm going to show you that at the back we got two grow beds. Everything is super natural, so everything is very well integrated into the environment of your backyard. It looks like an ornamental fish pond, but the beauty of it is that it consumes less electricity than a classic fish pond, simply because we work with special ponds that are designed to supply a good water movement with a very minimal quantity of energy needed. So for this whole setup that we have here, I got 100 trouts, and I'm going to have even more than that later on. I got lots of different grow beds and vegetables that I'm growing, and it's only 45 watts. So this whole setup is already a fish pond, so you can really enjoy seeing your fish. As you can see, I got some golden trouts. Let's just have a look how cool it is when you feed them. You see all the fish jumping. It's really, really nice. And you can have this in your backyard. So a very special type of aquaponics system, very unique, I guess. I don't think many people have this around the planet, so that's something I really want to promote. I want to show you how you can build this type of system. It's not that complicated, but for me the aesthetic is key. When we talk about aquaponics nowadays, if you go online and you look for aquaponics, you're going to have plastic tubs. Most of it is plastic because people are very focused on producing food. Well, you can produce food on a very efficient way. You see here I got a lot of fish, I got a lot of vegetables growing at the back. Even if it's the beginning of the system, I'm already starting to grow some vegetables. And all this is super aesthetic. You see it's very natural. You got two cascades. It looks very cool, very nice ambience, very relaxed. So it's something you can do in your backyard, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I call it Aquaponics Revolution now, the new movement I'm trying to create. I'm going to help everybody in the planet to do those type of things in his own backyard, to grow some food that is sustainable, healthy and tasty, but also that is enhancing the backyard. You see, you reconnect with nature now, really, you know, you are not in a closed environment, in a box or in a tank that is half ground and in a plastic and is locked. This time we are completely exposed to the environment and we are part of it. So I did a lot of things with this system and I'm experimenting. It's winter now where I live, but in summer I really plan to swim in this pond. So when I say swim, I'm talking about going, having bath in the pond when it's very hot and swim with the fish. And you will see in this video later on that that's something that I did. I went into this pond, I experimented with a wetsuit because it's super cold at the moment, but it's super cool when you are swimming and you have the fish around you, you can touch them. It's just super, super cool. You don't have to do this, right? You can be someone who just think that an aquaponics system is cool and you can have a nice fish pond. What I think is stupid nowadays, it's not that it's stupid, but the way we are doing things doesn't make really sense. The way we are producing food in monoculture is really bad for the planet. We are using a lot of pesticides and herbicides that are really bad, while we can do something very nice at home. So we can avoid this. We can produce with minimal quantity of resources used. So here we are in aquaponics, so all the water remains in the system. We are not losing any water for the garden. We just have a bit of evaporation that is completely natural. And we use less electricity, so only 45 watts for this aquaponics system. And where I think it's very interesting is that people already have ponds. You may have a pond in your backyard at the moment, and you can totally transform this pond in an aquaponics system like the one I have behind you. The advantages are going to be, the water is going to turn clear. You're going to be able to produce some food, obviously, from something that is existing, and you are not going to consume more energy. So if you have a pond, you already have a water pump that is running. So you can use this without adding anything, just adding a grow bed, but without adding any electricity consumption. And you can grow way more fish, so fish that you can be able to consume later on if you like. If you are vegan or if you are vegetarian, you don't have to consume the fish. You can grow ornamental fish that you keep in the pond. It's not a problem. But if you're like me, you want to have something that look good, but also where you can consume the fish, you can grow some fish that are both looking great, but also that you can consume and in big quantity. So here we are talking about 100 trouts. They are going to grow in 9 months, and I'm going to be able to consume some very early and push some very late. And I can add more fish to this. I'm not at the maximum capacity of the system. So it's really interesting. In terms of garden, we're going to be able to produce a lot of food. If you have a pond, again, in your pond you are not able to grow some plants at the moment. If you go for this type of system, water is going to stay clean and you are always going to have some plants growing. So for me, it's a revolution. That's why I call now my website Aquaponics Revolution. But this is a holistic approach. When we say holistic, it means that it takes the whole system all together. It includes a lot of different elements all together. So here we have the capacity of using it as a swimming pool, as a fish pond, as a garden, as an aquaculture fish farm, and it brings a lot of nature. So when I say it reconnects people with nature, you can't imagine the quantity of birds that I saw since I put this pond here in the backyard. The quantity of birds that I see coming around, having a look, sitting around the pond and having a bath, just drinking, having a bath in the pond. I even had ducks. Yes, ducks. Not just ducks. Ducks are flying and they come and they stop at the pond. But I had a family of ducks, as amazing as it can seem and incredible as it can seem. I had a family of ducks coming in the pond. I didn't introduce them. They came for one day. They spent the whole day swimming in the pond, having fun, and they went away. It's just completely crazy. I don't say it's going to happen everywhere where you live, but that's the type of thing that happen really. You know, we are inside and we have the birds that are coming. It's just so cool. And also I have my house that is just like linked to the pond, like very close, because this is a terrace, and from the living room I can see the pond. So I can literally feed the fish from my living room. It's just so cool. How fun is that, you know? You see those fish? It's just amazing. You know, I used to work in a fish farm, and that's exactly the type of experience I had when I used to feed the trouts. And now I do this in my backyard, in my garden, in my terrace, from the living room. It's just, for me, it's great. I don't have words to describe what I feel. So with this type of aquaponics system, the holistic aquaponics system, now we go way further than the classic system. Yes, we produce food, but we have a whole experience around the aquaponics system where we reconnect with nature. We can go fishing in the pond, we can go swimming in the pond. It's a whole experience, and it increases the interest of the backyard so much. And every time you got friends over, believe me, they're gonna ask you one thing: can we have a look at the pond? We even see it from the inside, you know, from the living room. So sometimes people just ask, oh, you got a pond, let's go outside. But most of the time I'm very proud to show it. And then it becomes the thing. Everybody wants to see it, wants to see the fish eating, all those type of things. It's so great. Now imagine in a few months, when you have your barbecue, you fish a few fish, you get a few plants from the grow beds, and you have the barbecue. You have the fish from the pond, you are eating the fish from the pond. It looks just amazing, and the fish are living very well here in the pond, right? I don't know how to say that. You know, they are just evolving like in a natural environment. Because if you look at it, you will think it's a natural pond. You know, it's all natural materials. Obviously, inside there are some liners, so it's not a natural material. But when you look at it, you only see natural things. So it's really cool. So anyway, this video is just an introduction to this new type of system. Now, if you're new to aquaponics, once again, I offer free training from the website Aquaponics Revolution. So go there and get this free training. From there, I'm going to offer you a lot of free information. I'm going to show you the crazy cool things that we can grow in this system. Now I'm going to use this system as a reference for most of the videos that I'm going to run. And yes, and if you want to go one step further, if you want me to help you to build this type of aquaponics system or the EcoFlex aquaponics, the type of aquaponics system that I show in my other videos, I have also some other trainings that are not free this time. They are more specific to the type of system that you want to go. I also have a group. So if you want to be part of the group, of the private aquaponics groups, it's a possibility as well, where I'll help you. We go on online all together, we have coaching, and we talk about your project and how we can help you to achieve your goal. So this video today is to introduce you to this aquaponics system that I think is amazing. So if you think this aquaponics system looks cool, that's something you want to hear more about, give me a like, leave a comment under the video, let me know if you think it's cool. I've been a landscaper when I started my studies. I did two years of landscaper studies. I went working for 2 years. After that, I worked in fish farming and I studied fish farming aquaculture. And I went up to have a degree in aquaculture and a master degree in food science, specialized in seafood. And with all this experience, I designed that, right? The landscaping part, I built this terrace with this special shape to have the pond that is coming along, and then having all natural materials behind. Then obviously from the aquaculture experience, I am very focused on the health of the fish, making sure they got enough space, they got a good water quality. I built this aquaponics system to be the most efficient possible, but the most aesthetic as well. So this is really a compromise, a good compromise of a lot of different expertise that I have. And I think aquaponics is a question of compromise, actually. If you look at an aquaponics system, it's an ecosystem, and all together you got fish living together with plants, with bacteria, and a lot of other species of insects, animals. But all those animals, if you take them separately, they got specific requirements. But when you grow them together in an ecosystem, it's a compromise where you try to have parameters that are okay for all of them. Well, I took this principle, and that's when I built this aquaponics system. I did exactly the same thing. I took the best compromise for the size of the fish, for the grow beds, having them together, having something that is very aesthetic, and that's how I came with this. So again, let me know if it's something that you like. Go into the website Aquaponics Revolution. I got now probably 100 of articles about aquaponics, so you're going to find a lot of information about any question you may have about aquaponics, and get the free training there to help you to start aquaponics, to understand how it works, to get the critical information that you really need to have and to understand to start aquaponics. That's it for this video. I want to keep it short. I'm going to make other videos about this aquaponics system. I'm going to give you more clips about how it looks like, how it's working. But for now, that's it. So I see you in the next video. If you haven't done it yet, you can subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye. Don't forget to get your free gift from this screen. You can also leave me a comment below the video, subscribe to the channel, and see my last video. I really hope to see you soon, and I wish you a fantastic success with aquaponics. Have a good crop!